Good afternoon. Well, it's afternoon at least where I am right here. It's about 4 o'clock on Thursday, September 17th. Guys, I'm here to bring you some market stats. I'm Seth Mills, by the way, with the Mills Group. If you're getting this email, you probably already know that. But that's all right. Let's move on. Guys, I want to look at a couple very specific numbers today. And it's because this time during the year, we generally see the market will kind of be on the downside of the annual cycle. Most market cycles repeat annually, right? Well, we see it kind of drop off. July is the peak of demand. It's also the peak of inventory. And then August would be the peak of aging inventory. That means the number of homes that have been on the market and did not sell the previous month or the month before that, right? Generally in August and September. September is right when we start seeing days on market, meaning how long it takes a home to sell. We start seeing that increase. And that continues to increase until the number of homes available severely drops off in December or January, which late January, early February is when the market starts to pick up again. And then we see a peak in May, between May and July again. So let's talk about where we are right now. There's a couple numbers that are pretty wild and definitely stand out. 2020 is definitely the year of outstanding things, right? And I don't necessarily mean outstanding in a good way, but these things stand out. A pandemic stands out. Social justice movement stands out. These home statistics that we're about to see are going to stand out for a very long time. This point that we are in our economy right now, especially the hyper-local real estate economy, is going to stand out historically. We're going to look back at this, and there are going to be some consequences we see that come from this that, nobody really knows exactly what they're going to be right now. So I'm going to pull this up on my screen. What we're looking at here is a graph of two numbers. This is the number of active listings, and this is the months of inventory currently on market, meaning the number of homes that are available for purchase and the amount of time that it would take to sell every one of those homes if no additional homes came on market as of right now. This is limited to Collin County. I do most of my business in Collin County, Texas. So we're looking at all the homes on market right now. We can see, so this goes back 2 years, from August 18 to August 2020. And we can see in August of 18, the number of homes available was way high. And we can see that blue graph is the months of inventory was a bit lower because even though there were a ton of homes on market, the demand was super high in August, and so they predicted it would sell. We can see then in September, October, November, it starts dropping off, and as these listings start to sell, the months of inventory increase. That might seem counterintuitive, but again, if demand falls off faster than the listings fall off, then the amount of time it takes those listings to sell is going to increase, right? So we see at the beginning of 19, there's a spike in months of inventory, and this kind of signaled a time where everybody thought that we were heading into a major market shift, where home values were going to drop off, where interest rates were going to spike. And as we know, that has not happened. There's been some fluctuation in interest rates. We're going to look at that next. And yet, the market has stayed pretty stable. There's been some weird things in March and April of this year, specifically April of this year, we saw a drastic reduction in people selling and buying their homes. It's not because people didn't want to buy, but we've seen because people have been unwilling to sell. They're frozen out of fear, and we don't want that. Fear does terrible things to an economy, and it threatens this economy right now. The market that we're in right in this moment. So what we're seeing, though, in this graph is that as the inventory drops, now so does as the active listings drop, so do the months of inventory. Folks, what this doesn't show you is 10 years ago, and even longer ago, we have in North Texas, broadly, we have the shortest inventory that we've ever had. Since we've been recording how many homes are for sale and how quickly they sell, we have the lowest inventory on record. The lowest, absolutely the lowest. So the absorption rate is how fast they sell and how fast new buyers come on market. It is consuming all of our listings. We can see that green line just continues to decline. If we look, let me see if I can get up to that screen. This is in real time, guys. I'm going through this stuff. We can see these numbers. So at the end of August, there were 4,600 homes on market available with 2 months of inventory. A balanced market, meaning neither a seller nor a buyer's market. A balanced market is 6 months of inventory. And guys, we are at 2 right now. If we look back historically, August of 18, we had nearly double. So from 4,600, we had 7,800 homes on the market in August of 18, and we had 50% more months of inventory. Guys, these are alarming numbers. Now, here's the thing. The sky is not crashing down on us. And yet, if we don't do our part to dismantle the fear of our neighbors, our friends, our loved ones, our coworkers, as if we don't do our best to dismantle the fear, it does threaten both our local, our national, and our global economy. We each play a part in this. Now, my part in it, obviously, I'm in real estate, and so I look at if somebody needs to or wants to move from one place to another, maybe they want to relocate for work, or they want to be closer to family, or they need to upsize their home and move up, or maybe they're empty nesters and they want to downsize their home, they should be able to. If they've got the resources and they've got the motivation, they should be able to move forward. Well, a global pandemic is causing people to freeze in place, and it's not good. Right now, those of you listening, by the way, there's never been a better time to move up in the market. If you're looking to downsize, maybe wait till next year, unless you really want to do it. We've got ways you can do it. But there's never been a better time to move up, because the number of homes that are consumed at the low end of the market, well, it's pretty much all of them. Just about everything under 300,000 sells. I mean, almost immediately. Absolutely wild right now. Let's look at one other, if I can get this off of full screen, we're going to look at one other line of statistics. And this is something that tells us maybe where we're heading. And this is a reason why demand stays so high in the face of a pandemic. We are looking at the average interest rate for a 30-year fixed mortgage. This is the national average in the United States. And we can see back here in 16, on September 17th to 16, the average rate was 3.91. Guys, let's look just at last year. Last year we had a peak in November. If we walk back, right, so we're in September, we had an average of 4.65, 4.6. We peaked in November last year at 4.94. Now, 4.9, even 5% on a 30-year fixed interest rate, that's not high. Historically, that's not very high. And yet, look at where we are now, guys. We, this week, earlier this past week, we recorded, there we go, 2.86. There was a day, and it's not graphing here, there was a day that our average was 2.75% 30-year fixed. Guys, that is unheard of. When I say unheard of, I mean literally has never been heard that a 30-year fixed in the U.S. was an average of 2.75. This is phenomenal. Money is so cheap. And so buyers are flooding the market. Here's the takeaway. One, if you're thinking about buying a house, if you're thinking about moving up, now is a really, really good time to do it. If you're thinking about selling, or if you need to sell, if you have motivation to sell and you're not sure that you can, or if you're not sure that there's a safe way to do it, guys, we have safe ways to do it. We have ways to protect you and your family. We have ways to protect the buyers that would walk into your house as well. Folks, the real estate market is absolutely on fire right now. My goal is to make sure it doesn't burn down. Let's go in a fiery way into next year. Thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned. We'll bring more to you next month. All right? You guys take care.